And good morning, February the 8th, 2022, a Tuesday, by the way. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. These are things you might not have heard for this day, previously stated as Tuesday, February the 8th, 2022. Welcome to what should be a great day for most of us. We'll see how it actually turns out, but we'll make it a little bit greater. At least we'll try our best by giving you a couple of news stories, 5 to be exact, to go ahead and chat it up with your friends about things that happened yesterday-ish to talk about for today-ish. Things you might not have heard that will make you sound more conversational, sound more smarter, have more knowledge, which is what it's all about. The more knowledge you have, the more you win, right? That's how it works correctly. We here at the Conversation Project do not try to be your main source of news. We like to think of ourselves as a secondary, tertiary, maybe your news side piece, if you will. So we're there for you when you need us, even if you try to pretend like we don't exist. What we're going to do for you in a moment is, like I said, I'm going to give you 5 stories from yesterday-ish, that came up as the top stories per you. You told us, based on your feedback to the stories you posted on our social media, what stories seemed more conversational, what stories seemed more talk about-ish, and what stories that may not have made it on AC360, hosted by, the very fine John Berman last night, but still are worth chatting about. You can have more details about how you can be a part of that in just a moment. And reminder that this thing is powered by you. So if you want to help things go out here on this project or other projects in the widespreading More Better Media land, check out buymeacoffee.com/JClevelandPayne. Buymeacoffee.com/JClevelandPayne. You don't buy me literal coffees. You basically make donations basically about the cost of a cup of coffee. And today it's tea day. So those cups of coffee keep me hydrated, number one. It also keeps the lights literally on and keeps the production value going on. And the more coffees you give, the better we can do. So if you like what's happening, we can do so much better with a little bit of extra support from you. And shout outs come out as well from the coffees that are bought. Let's get into the stories so we can get on with our days, shall we? Story number 1. Donald Trump quietly making millions from coffee table books. CNN.com gave us this story, and I heard this on CNN yesterday as I was prepping, and I put it into the posted it ahead of time to be going into what is now here. And we actually teased at the end of yesterday's program. So you guys thought this was an interesting take on what Donald Trump is doing. Now, there's nothing wrong with presidents, ex-presidents making money off of books. The big deal is most of them wait a little while and they essentially wait to write their full memoir. If you waited for Obama's memoir, if you will, the 2-volume War and Peace thingamabobber, you can see how these things go. Basically, people are waiting to hear from these people after they're out, after have enough time to say, what they really feel about folks. Donald Trump's only been out a year, like not even a year, but maybe exactly a year, essentially. It's from January to January, and he's been saying what he wanted to say ever since he walked out the door. This coffee table book basically expounds on that, where it is nice, pretty pictures of Donald Trump doing nice, pretty things, but also the writings and the pictures and descriptions are essentially him, scribbling in the margins of the book saying that these people still suck. You can check it out for yourself. I don't have links or any attachments to it, but you can search for it just as easy as anything else and get the new coffee table book by Donald Trump, which is making him lots and lots of money, straight up cash, and he's still in the game doing the dozens as well. Second story for the day. Rumble's Chris Pavlovsky, say that 3 times fast, offers Joe Rogan a $100 million deal. Mediaite.com is sourcing this one. And this is an interesting take on the Joe Rogan saga. So Rumble, which is it's supposed to be a rival to like Facebook and Twitter for your free speech and random stuff going out there with very little in the way of getting away of what you want to say. Essentially, no censorship of the right, if you will, is offering Joe Rogan the same deal that Spotify offered him, $100 million to come and put his podcast on the Rumble platform and have no qualms whatsoever about whatever he says. They will do no censorship whatsoever to his stuff. Will he take this? Probably not, because who knows if Rumble will be around next week, let alone if it's going to actually support Joe Rogan for a period of time. Now, remember, various big-time platforms made big money and made their name off of bringing in controversial people and make them exclusive. Sirius XM Radio, or I think it was Sirius Radio, I'm not sure if they had merged yet, brought in Howard Stern for his exclusive deal, taking him off terrestrial radio, and subscriptions went huge because that was the only way to get Howard Stern in a pure sense. And he had 2 channels and had specials and had all the stuff going on. So people went to Sirius XM, and how many are still there? Well, that's a whole nother question. I mean, they'll offer you the whole service for $20 a year if you try to cancel. Trust me, they've done that before. But if Joe Rogan, when going to Spotify, gave him a lot of money and of course took him off the free versions of YouTube, will he go to someplace like Rumble, which means people have to actually figure out how to get to Rumble? Probably not. Story number 3 to get you through the day today is this one. New Jersey will eliminate school mask mandate for children and staff. This coming from foxnews.com, and some more happy news celebration from Fox News and their point of view. This is an issue that, is a pretty serious deal. Now, the state of New Jersey is going to basically lift all mask mandates, essentially say no more mask mandates. There will be exceptions because there have to be exceptions. So there are places where a board has enough power or the numbers are so bad, it's there. But the blanket, everybody's wearing a mask is going away. That does not stop people from wearing masks. That does not stop teachers and staff from wearing masks. The big issue, or children as well, the big issue, of course, is the freedom issue, the freedom thought process, the what do you get to do what you want to do. Parents who don't want their kids wearing masks because they have breathing problems, sucking all that carbon dioxide is going to kill them, and it's not. This is something that's going to be dealt with 50 times because 50 states plus territories need to deal with what's going on. The blanket mask mandate is kind of a pain. But the biggest issue is, do the localities have the rights to do their own thing? This will play out in the court somehow because many school districts are going to want to put this in place despite parental objections. We'll see how that all plays out. Story number 4 for this morning comes out like this. Family sues after discovering wrong body in the casket at loved one's funeral. Insider.com has this one, and you might want to look this one up. Happened out in sunny California where a beautiful day was happening. A funeral was going on. They were saying goodbye to a loved one, and then you look into the casket, and it's the wrong dude. Quite a faux pas going on. Obviously, the family not so happy about this, a bit distraught. Not much they can do about it. Can't really fix Grandpa's funeral at this point because Grandpa doesn't particularly care about his funeral, but the family wants some sort of restitution, some sort of justice. They're going to sue. That's what we do around here. And also around here, we also try our best to get lots of knowledge in quick bursts. That's why you're listening to or watching this video / audio of me giving you a couple of stories you can talk about throughout the day here in the morning. One way you can also get a lot of great knowledge really quick is using the Blinkist app. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/Blinkist for a 7-day trial of the full version of the app, and you will fall in love with this just like I have years ago. Now, I am able to read 2 books a day, and many more when I get the time to because of Blinkist every morning before I knock this thing out or after, based on how things should work out. Before I get into work and have my day started, I knock out a book on Blinkist. At night, before I go to bed, I knock out a book on Blinkist. How can I do that? Blinkist breaks down great books, nonfiction books, and autobiographies into 15-minute audio and video, audio and editable, audio and readable. I need more tea, I guess. Blinks or the breaks it down into the gist of the notions. Some synopsis, summaries. There you go. That's the word. That's the word for you Tuesday. Summary. So it breaks down the summaries where you have all the main points into specific little blinks. So it may take a book that has 9 points to it, 9 main pieces to it, turn it into 9 different blinks and breaks those things down into 3-minute blocks. And then, of course, in about 15 minutes, you can actually get through a full book. Some are a little longer, some a little shorter. They also have shortcasts, which are shorter versions of the great podcasts that you love, knocked down mostly to, it may be something that runs about 45 minutes to an hour, knocked down to 20 to 15 minutes. And if you want to go long, they have these great audio programs that help you go to sleep. They are actually longer than the short versions, but they are breakdowns of great autobiographies and great books that you want to read and things you want to learn about, people you want to hear about, and they help you go to sleep. So you can check all that out by going to thisistheconversationproject.com/Blinkist and get summaries thought I was stroking out for a moment. Get summaries of books that are broken down into 15-minute blanks, 15-minute portions, so you can read more quickly. Our final story for the day, to get you on to your day, get you something to chat about, is this one. Biden's top science advisor, Eric Lander, resigns amid reports of bullying. Political.com has the source on this one particularly. And this is one that just sort of came out of nowhere. And I'm glad you guys got this in there. This was low in the field, but once it popped up, I figured this is one we need to put in there. So this is not top story by any means. This is just something that's extremely interesting. Now, we hear about workplace bullying all the time. It turns up as a pretty popular topic in the blogs, on the news things every so often, especially when you have a out of control boss, a big time CEO that goes on the rampage. Think of the CEO a few weeks back that called or had all the call people on Zoom and fired everybody right before they're trying to basically eliminate some of the dead weight before they went public. That's a bad case of a bad CEO, a bad job boss, person in charge, not necessarily bullying in itself, although he was accused of not being nice to employees as well. Somebody on the very top level of the government, and you may not think that the science advisor is all that top, trust me, it is saying that essentially he's being kind of bullied. He's being pushed around. He's being just maneuvered to do things, say things he doesn't necessarily want to do, and just life is kind of a hell dealing with people who are just kind of pushing things down on him. So he quits and he calls the government, essentially the large machine that as it works, the bully. Think about your workplace bullying situation and think about what's going on in the life of Eric Lander, and think about these considerations. Check out the story and look for more of this, go deeper in this. But yes, bullying does take place in other situations other than just, at, the diner or in high school. Workplace bullying happens at the larger echelons, including on the very, very public government level. We also tease a story that you may want to talk about. As you said, the Donald Trump story that we led with was a tease story from yesterday, so you guys pulled it up. This one may not get as much love, but it's one that I can definitely attend to as a father of a daughter who's extremely picky with her lunch and won't eat the school lunch that's at school and has to literally hand pack croissant sandwiches every day. Dad has to collect vomiting daughter from school after he accidentally packs hot sauce in her lunch. This is coming from Indy 100, and so this is coming down. This one may have actually posted by the time we started the video, so make sure you check your feed and back it up a little bit. But this is a story, like I said, I definitely identify with as a dad who packs their daughter's lunch every day and gets complaints. Not very often do I get compliments, pretty much complaints about, can I have more chips, or can we get different type of fruit snacks, and do I have to have a string cheese, things like that. So one dad mistakenly probably overworked and definitely underappreciated by his kid, packed the wrong lunch. Kid got sick and had to go pick her up. This is a story, believe it or not, my news aggregator had this at 5 different places with 5 different headlines. This was just the most easy to understand headline and the better write-up of the story that we pulled from. And you may want to talk about this one tomorrow. If you do, then you just find it on the feed, engage with it, and we will make that happen. Now, how do you make the engagements happen? Well, there's a few things that you can do with the stuff we have going on. So let me go through the rundown of what we do for the Conversation Project. Number one, stop by our website. This is theconversationproject.com and check out all you want to know about the Conversation Project, and not so much about things you might not have heard. Not quite gotten done to read the website yet, but we're going to get there. Also, stop by buymeacoffee.com, as you also see scrolling at the bottom of the thing, /J Cleveland Payne, and offer up donations to help keep things going here. You can also follow the feeds as well. Go to facebook.com/This is a Conversation Project and th_conversation on Twitter. When you go to those places, you can follow us on those devices, on your devices, on those feeds for Twitter and Facebook. As the stories come down into the feed, when you check your normal stuff, like it, love it, hate it, share it, engage with what we have going on. The more engagement a story gets, the higher it comes up. We take the top 15 stories from a day, and yesterday was kind of a rough day, so we didn't get quite to 30 stories. Got to 28 stories that were posted. We took the top 15 stories out there, and we go through and look for the most conversational ones, the ones we can really talk about, and the ones, as we said, may not have gotten a lot of mainstream coverage unless it was a big deal, and just sort of break it down, let you know about it. So you have a little something different to talk about. We hope you appreciate those. Let us know at the website or in the comments how we do that. Oh, by the way, the teaser song for the day, easy one. Grab your coat and grab your hat. Leave your worries at the doorstep. Next line, life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Written by Johnny Hodges, by the way, or performed originally by Johnny Hodges. That's a song that should be embedded in the minds of all of our folks. Hopefully you have a very sunny, very great day on whatever side of the street you land on today. My name, Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for joining us for this thing. And that is things, you should say, you might not have heard for Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. As we say at the bottom, follow the feeds to get your input in so we know what stories are the most conversational. And we're going to do this again, give you 5 more stories plus a tease to chat about with your friends, family, and random strangers on the street tomorrow.